Howdy mates, good morning. How's it all going for you today? Here's a part 2 video over at the Stillwater Prairie Reserve. This is actually one of my favorite portions of the entire park, just because you really get that woodsy vibe when you're walking through here. Not to sound weird or anything, but right now I like this particular section because I like to call this the sort of like the valley of the Black Locust. So I say that because actually to my right, we're actually seeing some examples of the Black Locust tree. And in this particular little stretch, they're actually very prevalent. So to start off, the Black Locust, the way to help identify it is to look at the banding pattern on the tree. Kind of follows like a diamond-like scale pattern, basically. So that's how you know if you're looking at one. But the wood is actually quite valuable. It's been used for railroad ties, furniture, you name it. Because Black Locust is a very hard wood. It's very durable and it's dense. So it's actually very desirable to use commercially. But since we are at a park, the particular Black Locust trees that we're looking at, they can't be used. They can't be harvested, basically. And I just came to realize too that it is now the final day for Pollinator Week. So that basically recognizes all of our pollinators, whether it be butterflies, bees, bats, or even birds, just to name a couple. Even beetles too. So pollination really refers to basically a collection of pollen from male flowers to then transfer them to female flowers, thus allowing the next generation to grow. So it's really through the work of our pollinators that makes much of our food supply possible, actually. Whether, our fruits, for example, they need pollination. Because without our pollinators, our food supply would be highly at risk. So the Black Locust in particular is actually a highly sought after tree for pollinators because they actually produce these small little flowers earlier in the spring. They typically are like a white appearance, with the petals. But the Black Locust also belongs to the bean family. And I say that because as it gets closer into the fall, they will actually produce these bean pods that can be about a foot long, actually. And they're a very valuable food source for our fellow homies. Now, what's particularly fascinating about the Black Locust, in addition, is hopefully we can maybe find an example. But the Black Locust actually has a particular fungus that grows on the tree. Now rest assured, it doesn't do any harm to the tree whatsoever, but oftentimes what you'll see on a Black Locust is it's kind of like a wood cap, basically. It looks like a mushroom growing along the tree. But the thing is, the fungus is literally it also has a woody texture to it, just like the tree. So it's actually really neat to find. So hopefully we might have some luck. Give me a second, you guys. All right, mates, I actually found a great example that I was just mentioning. So here's like a demonstration. I'm just using like a stick to poke at it. And normally, if it was like your typical fungus, it would just break right off easily. But since this has a woody texture, like I'm using some decent force, like that literally just broke the stick. So you really have to use a lot of force if you are to try removing it from the tree. And it's actually quite neat. It's one of the only deciduous trees that I know of that has that particular characteristic. And what's also neat about the black locust too is if you look up at the tree, it kind of has a what you call like a pinnately compound type of leaf arrangement. So basically it's just little leaves that join together on a stem that alternate between each other. Kind of like resembling looking at a fern in a sense, but it's not a fern. But the black locust too, in addition, it's actually essential for our soil as well. They are great nitrogen fixers. So they like to sequester the nitrogen that comes from the atmosphere. And oftentimes, once they sequester the nitrogen, it can turn into a form of nitrate, which can act as a nutrient in the soil. Because, as many of you may well know, nitrogen is crucial to the performance of soil. And in addition to that, because of their extensive root system, they are great soil stabilizers as well. So, gotta thank the black locust for their services. And the best thing, they provide it for free. So alright, you guys, take it easy. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And I'm outwards. Take care, folks. See ya.